Folks, another hot day here to start the new week. On there Tuesday, we got your Sunlight Broadcasting tower cam poised to look over the sky. Seeing some high clouds mixing with a few cumulus clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy. And it's hot out there. We're in the 90s, humidity's up, so it feels like around 100 or more. Out in Toledo Bend, beautiful Toledo Bend. Folks are having fun on the water. And likewise, you see the same sky conditions. Some cumulus clouds, that's a puffy cotton ball looking type cloud. And then the higher clouds look more hazy, wispy right there. Those are cirrus clouds, about 25,000 feet above the surface. I got some headlines for you. First of all, hot weather will continue tomorrow and Thursday, but we got a weather change coming. Possible tropical influence in your 7-day forecast. So I have the details there. So we got a lot to talk about, and it's important. So for the immediate future, radar is showing convection to the south and Calcasieu Parish, not getting into Beauregard. And this activity in southeast Texas, not doing much at all. So the pattern for convection right now, quite unfavorable. Looking to the east, this is a pretty ragged system here. You see a surface low moving across the northern portion of the Florida peninsula there, heading eastbound. But notice the burst of convection out ahead of that on the forward flank relative to its motion. It's pushing west, so we're seeing some convection develop on the west side of it. So we'll have to see. Now, there's surface pressure analyzed farther to the west. So that is going to perhaps, hopefully, inhibit some of this development. But if this convection, that's very important. That has got to get together with the surface low before this thing's going to develop much. So let's check things out beyond this into your future cast. I'll step you through the next couple of days real quick. Nothing happening this evening, basically. It'll just be pretty warm if you're going to be out. And don't have to worry about the rain gear, though. Future cast for Wednesday morning, 7 o'clock. We may see a little bit of cloudiness, but we'll certainly feel the humidity. A stray shower or a thunderstorm can't be ruled out Wednesday, but I got the chances pretty low for your commute back home around 5 o'clock. And then going into your Thursday forecast there, 7 o'clock, back to work. Some rain chances showing up to the south of us, and that will be the first indications that that weather pattern is changing, and we're going to tropical influence there. So going beyond this into the tropical interest areas, this is from the Hurricane Center right now. It's 40%. They'll update this in a couple of hours, and I suspect that they may go higher than that because it does look like this is trending toward maybe a little bit better organization out of some of the analysis I presented just a bit ago. So the overall setup for today is the surface low moving across the northern portion of Florida right there. It is over land, but it will get back out over the Gulf of Mexico, the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, by Wednesday and track west or maybe a little bit west-northwest. All right, so it's here. Tomorrow it's going to be here, and by Thursday, I think it's on the southeast coast of Louisiana, somewhere right in here. All right, so that's the scenario that we're looking at right now. Here are your spaghetti models, which again are analyzed here on this coast of Florida on the east coast. It's a little bit farther to the west now, so even the model analysis initialization is not perfect. So a more accurate forecast would be using the evening models, but this is all I have right now. But it does show the truth that the trend that I think I saw yesterday when I said the feature, whatever it's going to be, whether it's going to be a depression storm or just a wet blob of moisture, would track either through central Louisiana or near central Louisiana, and this forecast pretty well bears that out. So my guess is that either central Louisiana, as these models indicate, this one goes a little bit farther to the west toward Dallas, that may be off base some, or into western Mississippi would be the best guess right now that I've got for this. So the bottom line so far, AL93, that's the name of the system so far, may develop. As I said, Hurricane Center's got 40% now. I think they will raise that though. The most likely scenario would be a tropical depression or a weak tropical storm. It's got about 24, 36 hours over the Gulf waters under marginal conditions, upper level features kind of conditions. So yeah, I think there will be some development, but the most likely scenario as I see it will be this. tropical development or a weak tropical storm, maybe 40, 50 mile per hour tropical storm, and tracking through or near Sinlaw, as I explained just a bit ago. So that's prompted the Weather Prediction Center to put a level 3 out of 4. They call that a moderate risk of flash flooding from Friday morning to Saturday morning. And I think peak amounts could reach or exceed 5 inches in this. And I'm going conservative right now. I don't see right now enough data for me to go really aggressive and go 10 plus inches or something like that, because I do see some things, what models are indicating that this thing could actually fall apart, because some of the models are building a pretty big high pressure ridge overhead, and so that will slow this down, but there won't be much to slow down. All right, so anyway, that's what we're looking at right now. So this is something that you got to pay attention to. So here's your 7-day forecast then. Wednesday, only 10%. The heat is on Wednesday and Thursday. Humidity will be high. Heat indices will be over 105 in places. So significant heat risk in some places. But the pattern does begin to change Thursday. As we see scattered showers and thunderstorms much more numerous to the south of us than up this way or up toward Natchitoches, Winfield, and Manny. All right, so that 40% is an average. Down Opelousas way, it'd be maybe 60, 70% by then. Up Natchitoches, maybe 20%. So that's kind of the pattern that we got to deal with in our forecast. So 95 for your high Thursday, but it'll feel a lot worse than that. 90% Friday, 70% Saturday. That's the heart of the rainfall right there. As we really get that tropical influence into the area, heavy and excessive rainfall would be possible. That would be the time period mainly where you would see that risk of 5 or 5 plus inches in some locations. And another thing too is, as is typical of the case, I think there is going to be a very large variation across central Louisiana in this, across this area. So some locations get that 5 or 5 plus. Some areas, depending on how this thing tracks exactly, may get little or nothing. All right, you may be disappointed, say this is a tropical rain. Well, some folks may be there, but it's all in a day's work, and it's all possible with these tropical type systems. Pretty big drop as that high pressure ridge I was talking about begins to take over the large scale pattern and snuffs out the tropical system, but there'll still be some moisture. I got about 1 in 3 shot if you're getting wet Sunday. Notice how it heaps up though, back to 94. And hot weather continues as we went to the early part of next week. This isn't fooling around either. This will be similar to what we had yesterday, today, and what we'll get tomorrow here this week. 75 lows, so even warm at night. Rain chances, my token, 10%. All right, that's a look at your weather. Again, tropical influence, mainly in the Friday, Saturday time frame. And Nick and I will be watching this. Folks in the National Weather Service will be watching it. So a lot of folks will be watching this just in case. But for now, it looks like a wet storm for us. So Nick will be with you in the morning, and he'll have freshen up all this information. I'll do the same thing tomorrow evening. Take care, and hope your Wednesday is wonderful.